Hi everyone, welcome back to Tamara's Timeless Tarot reading, or readings I should say. It's been a little while since I've been able to make a video. I'm using the JJ Swiss Tarot, one of my favorite Marseille style tarot decks. Okay, Three of Swords. Now in this particular instance, like the Marseille, the pips, the pip card type decks, not the Rider-Waite. For me, the Three of Swords represents growth in communication or disruption in communication. Like a third party of some kind is coming between the two swords that are sort of overlapping one another, and it could be for good or ill, depending on the surrounding card. So let's see what's going on. Now in the Rider-Waite, the Three of Swords is about sorrow and grief and that kind of thing, loss. But I look at it more like, if you look at the number 3, it's about growth. The 3 is about expansion, right? It's taking the 2 and it's stretching it outward. So for me, and the swords is about communication. It's about the mind. It's about thoughts and ideas and revelations and sort of like the whole mental landscape, if you will. So for me, the 3 is about the expansion and growth of the mind. The mind is capable of so much more than we are aware of. I think we only use like such a small percentage of our brains anyway. I don't know exactly what that is, but there's so much more in there that we can utilize, and reading and asking questions and traveling and experiencing, all of those amazing things are going to expand our bandwidth and really open us up to more, right? And some of us have a greater capacity to retain information than others. But in any case, let's see. The Three of Swords. Okay, please tell me what, right away. Temperance. So temperance is all about balance and harmony. It's about living in the moment, being present, and trusting in divine timing. Okay, trusting in divine timing. Trusting in the universe to guide you and to protect you and to, essentially hold your hand in a sense and like help you along. So interesting, there's an expansion, a growth of some kind, but it could be that there's a slight pause or standstill, because the temperance is sort of about resting where you are, but behind the scenes things are still accumulating and things are still developing and things are still becoming, but it's in a very sort of spiritual context. Like, it's very much about getting in touch with yourself. And so a lot of people, for them, temperance is about meditation and realignment, okay, harmony, balance, beauty. I always look at this card as aesthetics. So maybe your surroundings or being in nature, surrounding yourself in beauty, calm, kind of tranquil surroundings that are going to help you process things. And again, this is to do with the mind, because the first card is the Three of Swords. So how can these ideas expand further? How can positive means of problem solving move forth? So this is a time of sort of marinating, okay? Let's see what else comes out. So the Three of Swords and Temperance, please explain these cards further. The Page of Swords, more communication, more new projects. Could be in the realm of writing something to do with communication, communicating, a message coming in, messages going out, new ideas, brainstorming, researching, kind of getting to the Brooks, is that it? Of like the root soul cause of something. You still have more to know and further to go, but this is a very studious, astute energy. This is a very curious mind. This mind still needs to be molded, but it has to be influenced by the right people, the right experiences. It can't just fall into the wrong hands, because the pages are very youthful, young energies like the seed. They can be easily manipulated or like easily influenced, or that kind of thing. So, but the Page of Swords has a strong mind. They may think that their boots are bigger than they are, or whatever that saying is, but I will give them kudos for having that kind of confidence to kind of seek out new information and kind of work towards putting that puzzle together, to like kind of formatting and reformatting situations so you can get a clearer picture. I feel like more communication is coming in. It's taking a little bit of time, but in the best of ways, because with Temperance, it means it's going to be working out in your favor. But you have to bide your time, and you have to use your time wisely and productively. And it's not necessarily action oriented. It's more internal, like inward work. So there's definitely like more to know, more to learn, more to gain with the page especially. And the 3 being a number of growth and expansion, like I mentioned before. Okay, tell me more, please. Page of Swords, Temperance, 3 of Swords, Temperance, Page of Swords. Tell me more. What kind of communication? Okay. Oh, 3 of Wands. This, I feel like, solidifies what I was talking about with this card, with the 3 of Swords. Sorry, 3 of Wands, 3 of Swords. I don't know what I just said. But the 3 tells me there's room for growth, that they're heading in the right direction. So the Swords and the Wands are the active suits of the tarot. They're the more masculine energy of the tarot. And this is great, because this means that the mind is working, the mind is picking pieces apart and sort of dissecting and that kind of thing. And that's great, because the Wands is about the dynamism, like the outward energetic kind of drive and what we put out in that spiritual kind of way into the universe, like to get things moving. It tells me it's like near the beginning stages of whatever this is. So you're seeking more information, right? You're processing this could be in the realm of study. This could be, if you're doing like workshops or things like that, where you're learning and you're asking questions and you're leading by example, or you're, kind of like in it to sort of dissect things and learn more and as much as you can. But it's telling you not to rush the process. It's telling you to get your head on straight. And sometimes this page can be overzealous, and sometimes they can be a little bit ahead of themselves. Hence what I was trying to say about sometimes they're too big for their breach. Their breeches are too big. They're too big for their breeches, or they're too big. Yeah, that kind of thing. I don't know. It's like an old-fashioned saying. I think they're too big for their breeches. It's like I feel like it's an old-fashioned like English saying. Anyway, so before you get ahead of yourself, like things are going in the right direction. There is this positive growth and expansion, but you need to align yourself and make sure that you don't get ahead of yourself. Make sure that you don't get too like overexcited, overzealous. You want to make sure that things happen in the right time. Divine timing is essential here. Okay, it is key, and it's with me. For me, Temperance is all about the angels. Sort of they got your back, and they're gonna help you. But you gotta just like temper it down a bit or taper it down. Like you just have to make sure that things are like on even keel and balanced, and you know what's what and you know what's up, and there's nothing kind of hidden or anything like that. Like I'm not getting any cards right now to be weary or to be anything like that. It's just Temperance is saying to kind of just search inward and really articulate those questions as best your ability. Do some research, some background checks, whatever that may mean to you. And you know, this page is, he's always a bit defensive, and that's okay. Like you're not gonna lay all your cards out on the table. I'm getting. You're going to kind of pick and choose, like be choosy with what you share, with what you divulge, and kind of just keep the rest to yourself. It's always better to do that, I think. I think when we let too many people know about too many things, there's more room for interference, and I think it's important for you to be kind of on top of that and at peace with that in yourself first before you bring it forth into your everyday life or into, you know, reality. Let's do maybe one or two more cards. So we have the Three of Swords, we have the Temperance, Page of Swords, Three of Wands. Really nice reading so far. Okay, yeah, the Knight of Swords, swords again. Oh my gosh, it's telling you not to rush in. It's telling you not to be vigilant, but to be aware of your impetuousness, or like maybe you have a habit of being a bit too impulsive. And even though you think you know the answers, and even though you think you have all the facts, please just be patient. And divine timing will guide you through in a more like a calmer approach, in a more timely manner. Please do not get ahead of yourself. Okay, watch your words, be respectful, try and be as non-judgmental as possible, try and be objective, not subjective. You know, keep your feelings, your most innermost feelings and emotions kind of inward. This is all about using more logic, and I think also kind of sussing out what the scene is, like sussing things out, observing before acting, articulating and making sure that what you say comes across as clearly as possible, and that your meaning is being understood entirely. Okay, that there's no real room left up for interpretation, that it's kind of black and white at this point, and that further enhances the Temperance cards. So it's all about balance. Don't jump the gun. Don't get ahead of yourself. The threes, there's two threes here, both very active energy, say that things are going in the right direction. You just need to recalibrate and just make sure that you're not rushing in. Make sure that you're taking your time, you're observing, you're asking the right questions, you're collecting the data, you know, gathering all the facts, all the information. And it's about being in the know, and knowing that by being in the know and trusting in the universe and working with the universe, things are going to progress, things are going to go in the right direction, and it looks very positive and productive from here. So I think I'm going to leave it at that today. Thank you so much. Let me know if this resonates.